Hey everyone, how you doing? Gamble the Clown here, and welcome to the Suburban Sideshow Podcast. We have a very spectacular and special show for you. Today we're going to be talking about Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings just recently here in North Carolina. Now, the most recent Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings occurred in a county called Onslow County, which is down toward the beach. Now, some facts and figures and history about Onslow County pulled from the Onslow County website is that it was settled first by European and English settlers arriving there in 1713, and it was originally part of the colonial precincts of Carteret and New Hanover. Onslow County was formed in 1734 and was named for the Honorable Arthur Onslow, Speaker of the British House of Commons. There was a deadly hurricane in 1752. The county courthouse was relocated from Town Point to Wantlands Ferry. The first settlement was eventually incorporated in 1842 and named Jacksonville, which is the capital of Onslow County. Jacksonville, after President Andrew Jackson. It was largely a collection of sparsely populated agrarian and maritime communities. Onslow County dramatically changed in the 1940s with the establishment of the Army's Camp Davis. It was now closed near Holly Ridge. And what set this county apart was it formed the lethal Army base of Camp Lejeune, which is a United States Marine Corps base, in 1941. Onslow County's flat, gently rolling terrain covers 767 square miles and is located in the southeastern coastal plain of North Carolina, approximately 120 miles east of Raleigh and 50 miles north of Wilmington. The city of Jacksonville is the county seat, and the areas surrounding the city constitute the major population centers and growth areas in Onslow County. Onslow County is home to more than 185,000 people and includes the incorporated towns of Holly Ridge, Richlands, Swansboro, North Topsail Beach, and part of Surf City, and unincorporated parts of Sneads Ferry. Approximately 150,000 acres comprise the U.S. Marine Corps base Camp Lejeune, and more than 43,000 Marines and sailors are stationed there. So, Onslow County is definitely a place that Bigfoot and Sasquatch do not want to mess with. Onslow County offers the ultimate in outdoor coastal recreation and sports with over 30 miles of beautiful beaches, rivers, and ocean teeming with an abundance of marine life and forests filled with diverse wildlife, which is what we are going to talk about today, the diverse wildlife in Onslow County. The scenic 40-mile-long New River is the only large river in the continental United States with headwaters and mouth in the same county. Onslow County also remains an important agricultural force, its rich farmland still yielding bountiful crops. Today, the abundance and beauty found in scenic terrain, shoreline, and seascape continue to define Onslow County, attracting industry, tourism, and families to our distinctive community. This was taken from the Onslow County NC.gov official Onslow County website. So, if you thought that Onslow County was an interesting place because it is the base for the Eastern United States Marine Corps. Now, the other counterpart is the West Coast at Camp Pendleton, which is in San Diego, but for us here on the East Coast, Camp Lejeune is the primary base for the United States Marine Corps. Not only do we have Camp Lejeune right there, but we also have Marine Corps Air Station New River, which is right next to it. So, recently there has been some Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings here right in Onslow County, right next to Camp Lejeune. This is a post taken from Carolina Unknown, which helps to document paranormal activity and Bigfoot Sasquatch sightings, along with the Bigfoot Field Resource Organization, which we're going to talk about here in this post. That helps people bring their stories forward so we can continue to investigate the amazing phenomenon of seeing Bigfoot and Sasquatch. This is a post taken from Carolina Unknown. Onslow County, North Carolina has a documented history of Bigfoot sightings, with the most recent incident occurring in June 2025. The Bigfoot Field Research Organization, BFRO, you can find them at bfro.net, has compiled multiple reports for the county, including sightings near Camp Lejeune, Holly Ridge, and other locations. Some reports describe encounters with large bipedal creatures, some featuring reddish-brown hair, while others detail the creature shaking a pecan tree. The two most recent reports originate from the Hubert area. In early May 2025, a family reported hearing strange grunts and howls in the swamp behind their house. The following day, they discovered large footprints and toppled trees in the area where the sounds were heard. Then on June 1st, 2025, a local driver witnessed a large 7-foot hairy animal crossing in front of his vehicle near the Hubert back gate of Camp Lejeune. This weekend, members of the BFRO, Eastern Bigfoot, and Carolina's Unknown will be investigating these reports. Further information will be forthcoming. So before we get to the recent update, let's talk about the descriptions of the Bigfoot and Sasquatch that were reported. They described encounters with large bipedal creatures, some featuring reddish-brown hair, while others detail the creature shaking a pecan tree. So when it comes to describing Bigfoot and Sasquatch, one thing that is pretty consistent throughout all the reports is that it is a dark-haired creature. It could be maybe dark brown or dark reddish hair. Dark reddish brown hair. This is consistent throughout the entire world. Now, many people think of the Yeti as being covered in white hair because they say it comes from a snowy region. But all of the eyewitness reports of people who live in these regions have all described the same looking Bigfoot/Sasquatch creature. Dark reddish brown hair. These reports are consistent throughout the entire world. And others may have gotten closer and witnessed a Bigfoot shaking a pecan tree. The two most recent reports originate from the Hubert area. Now, the Hubert area is very sparsely populated. Not a lot of people live there. And this is around the training areas of Camp Lejeune. So I mentioned earlier that there is the size of Camp Lejeune is 156,000 acres. Most of the acreage, not only is it sort of most of it is unpopulated government property, but a lot of it is training areas. So these are the areas where military conduct their maneuvers. We go out there, run around in the woods, play G.I. Joe, blow stuff up, and drop down from airplanes. So that is the area where these sightings are being recorded. So Camp Lejeune is a little more, around 156,000 acres. That is a lot of acreage and a lot of places for Bigfoot to hide away from the population, which by all the reports that I've heard, that I've studied, that is what they like to do. They don't like to be around the population. So this is where this is sort of on the backside, if you would, of Camp Lejeune is Hubert. There is some businesses there in the town, but where all of these sightings are occurring, it is in the remote locations where most all of the troops go and train. So there is an update on the Bigfoot investigation. Please be sure to check out Carolina's Unknown and the Bigfoot Field Research Organization for more updates. This rainy Saturday was devoted to conducting interviews with approximately 15 individuals who reported potential Bigfoot sightings, as well as a wildlife biologist. The accounts provided by the witness range from discovering footprints to hearing noises, including a testimony from a retired Marine who recounted a story about a military vehicle colliding with a bipedal, hairy, ape-like animal on Camp Lejeune. This animal was allegedly seen by several other Marines. However, the final report stated that a bear had been killed by a military vehicle, leading the retired Marine to suspect a cover-up regarding the presence of Bigfoot in the area. So, right there, what the government is going to do is they're going to cast doubt on eyewitness testimony. There is, in fact, Bigfoot and Sasquatch lurking around these training areas, and the military is covering it up. The post continues. The local wildlife biologist discussed the habitat in Onslow County, stating that it is perfect for a large animal like a Bigfoot, and expressed his belief that these are Carolina swamp apes. The swamp ape is closely related to the skunk apes in Florida and is smaller than the larger Bigfoot found up north. These apes are approximately 5 to 7 foot tall, and their diet consists of pine cones, acorns, nuts, small animals, deer, and even roadkill. They range along the coastal swamps from Virginia to Florida. Typically, they are dark brown to black in color and remain in the swampy areas, such as the swamps in Onslow County. It is likely that they are being seen more frequently now due to recent flooding of the swampland or new construction in these areas. Tomorrow, we are hoping to visit some of the sightings locations, but it depends on the weather. I still think some of the sightings are misidentified bears or other animals, but a swamp ape is possible. So, when we think about Sasquatch, when we think about these swamp apes, it's very important to consider that this is likely an effort on our government to conceal secret government programs and secret government creatures that they are hiding in these military training areas. Now, as a former Marine, I can tell you that the that the grunts and all of the yelling most likely could come from United States Marines in the area attempting to frighten the public. But I will tell you that it is a perfectly habitable and suitable area for a Bigfoot and Sasquatch. I have never seen swamp apes, but most of the reports around the world all describe the same character, which is not a swamp ape. So if you are going to attempt to explain this away by saying that it is a swamp ape, the evidence just does not hold up. Of course, the wildlife expert, the wildlife biologist, is going to direct our attention away from the truth of Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings. It's because most of these organizations are, in fact, on a government payroll. So, of course, they're going to want to try to discredit eyewitness accounts, especially retired Marines who understand what is out there in those woods. Not only a retired Marine who has lived and served out in those woods and is still currently living to this day out in those woods. It just doesn't make any sense. The government has a duty to inform the public about Bigfoot and Sasquatch. We are seeing it here in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, the headquarters of our nation's most elite soldiers. Our nation's most elite United States Marines. Now, there is the headquarters of the Marine Corps, HQMC, in Quantico, Virginia, but Camp Lejeune is where all of our motivated and dedicated Marines live, and we are putting them at risk by not uncovering the truth. There are over 43,000 United States Marines and sailors living at Camp Lejeune, and we owe them. It is our duty to make sure that the truth is revealed about Bigfoot and Sasquatch, not only here in Onslow County, North Carolina, but around the world as well. We have drones. We have the technology to find Bigfoot and Sasquatch, and our government is sitting on their hands. It is the duty of our government to expose the truth about Bigfoot and Sasquatch so that American lives may be saved. So the wildlife expert that considers the sightings to be a Carolina swamp ape, let me read this again. The swamp ape is closely related to the skunk apes in Florida and is smaller than the larger Bigfoot found up north. These apes are approximately 5 to 7 feet tall, and their diet consists of pine cones, acorns, nuts, small animals, deer, and even roadkill. So, of course, a wildlife biologist is going to say that, no, this is not Bigfoot. This is a Bigfoot-like ape, something related to what we believe to be in Florida, but nobody is seeing these skunk apes. This is getting ridiculous. And this is 2.5 hours away from my house east. 2.5 hours away. We have Bigfoot and Sasquatch sightings, and our government is continuing to do absolutely nothing, sitting on their hands, sitting on this hardcore, legitimate information, and they are doing absolutely nothing. Nothing. So I leave it up to you. It is the duty of you to make sure that we contact and support the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, Carolina's Unknown. Contact them, show your support, and let's get involved with revealing the truth. The paranormal bridge between life and the spiritual realm, Bigfoot and Sasquatch here in North Carolina, threatening the lives of our United States Marines, residents of Onslow County. We need to step up. We need to do something. As a former U.S. Marine, I can tell you that when I was a Marine at training, we would not have been equipped to handle a threat from Bigfoot and Sasquatch. We would have been dead, putting national security at risk because our government would not step up and do something. And now this is the situation they are in here, specifically Hubert, North Carolina, but Camp Lejeune as well. 43,000 United States Marines and sailors at risk, and their families as well, because we are seeing Bigfoot and Sasquatch, and nobody is doing a thing about it. Now, I don't know what your thoughts are on Bigfoot and Sasquatch, but I can tell you all the reports are coming from somewhere. Sure, there is a mix of people who want their 15 seconds of fame, 15 minutes of fame, 30 minutes of fame, and are coming up with all kinds of nonsensical stories just to try to get on the news, just to try to go viral on the interwebs. But I'm here to tell you we have legitimate sightings here in North Carolina, Onslow County, and we need to step up. We need to investigate it. We need to put all of our government military force behind this to eradicate or study, or let's make friends with Bigfoot and Sasquatch, because they could be coming from another dimension. That's not out of the possibility. There could be an interdimensional being known as Sasquatch and Bigfoot that is attempting to communicate with humanity. Maybe humanity is not ready to receive the truth about Bigfoot and Sasquatch because we are protesting in the streets. We are killing each other. We are doing all kinds of crazy things, but meanwhile, behind the scenes, Bigfoot and Sasquatch interdimensional beings are lurking around behind closed doors or closed forests. They are making their presence known, and it is amazing to me that more people aren't supporting us knowing the truth about these very possibly very dangerous interdimensional beings. Maybe there is a lot we can learn from contacting Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Maybe it is going to make us better humans. Maybe it is going to make comedy better. Maybe if we slowed our roll, if we slowed down and spent time loving each other, maybe Bigfoot and Sasquatch would make themselves more aware. Maybe they are afraid of us. Maybe they are afraid of humanity because they have been watching for thousands of years what humanity does to each other. I encourage you to take these reports seriously. Check out BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Research Organization, and Carolina's Unknown page on Facebook, and let's show them support. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do to finally solve the mystery of Bigfoot and Sasquatch. We have great organizations here dedicated to investigations, dedicated to science, dedicated to protecting the people from these dangerous, possibly dangerous interdimensional beings. And it's very important that we step up. I'm Gamble the Clown. Follow me on your favorite social media platform. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble. Follow me on there. Will you join today? Will you join and protect our nation and seek to understand the truth behind the interdimensional eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot and Sasquatch? Until next time, I am Gamble the Clown. We'll see you later.